Yo, bro, everybody, what's up? You. It is Wednesday, no doubt. I'm with Mr. our NASAnon. He's like running his mouth and you can't hear him. Ha! I can hear him, but I'm like trying to just keep going. All right, it is Wednesday, no doubt, here on the Matrix of Minds. Matthew Turner, I'll be with Mr. NASAnon. We got something in store for you. You guys have seen my private drops here on my personal page. And as well as, he's got a little story to tell you of why we're late and why he's late. I'm late. We're all late. Yet we're not dead, so that's a good thing. Tonight we're going to be talking about the world of the targeted individual and gang stalking. Oh, shit. Let me tell you what. A lot of stuff coming up here in the next, I'll say within a month. It's definitely going to be interesting. Let me turn myself up a little bit. Nevertheless, anyway, tonight's going to be interesting. I'm liable to ward dial, maybe. I'm liable to ward dial some people. Never know. But nevertheless, we're going to have open lines tonight while we talk about the world of the targeted individual and gang stalking. Share this broadcast, share this podcast, because I am on clampdown now. Can't do shit. It is totally up to you. So we'll see you on the other side of this. Don't go nowhere, brainiacs. Right now, let's get going.
What do you say, brainiacs? You guys ready? It's time. It's showtime, brains. That's right. It's Matrix time. And it's go time. Welcome aboard, everybody. Let's go! Talk about ufology, conspiracy, controversy, and anything and everything that we can get into tonight. Let's go.
Well, hello, Mr.
Yeah,
DOD.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard the Matrix.
Get up, brainiac. Yeah. It's definitely your show. Your show, and we appreciate you for being here. Buckle up, everybody. Welcome aboard.
Yeah. All right. Now he's unmuted, and now we can go over here and say, "What's up, Mr. NASAnon? What's going on, Buffrian? I got you. Can you hear me?"
I've just been having a real interesting week, finally getting over being sick, and I been hearing from people that they feel like the most commonly described thing is the headaches and the pressures. So it seems like everybody's going through that recently, and there's an uptick in that. So I think we're all feeling it. But how are you doing, Matthew?
My tummy don't feel too good, bro. I don't feel too good, but I got a cup of coffee with some mojo in it. I got you finally through on the line. I had to get you my phone number in case something happened.
Yeah, no, we set that up, so that's cool. A couple of weeks ago when I was sick, when I was evacuating my stomach, as it were, I felt like I tasted something like ammonia coming up. And I definitely didn't drink anything with ammonia in it, but I felt like I'd been poisoned almost. And I'm not trying to get people conspiratorial like someone had poisoned me. Um, but then I was just reading today that the FDA rolled back its restrictions on this one pesticide that's known to cause all kinds of fucking problems in kids and adults, including like allergic reactions when you first have it. It's on beets and a bunch of other things. But yeah, it was one of the last things I saw on my Facebook profile before I got hacked today.
That's
So
it.
like I was just telling you, since it's under the topic anyway, I got hacked today. Somebody jacked into my account, and the track from Facebook was Washington, D.C. But before I could get into my account to fix everything, they'd already added their email. So every time I tried to reset it, they would get the reset email. So now my account's on hiatus till I don't know when. You know, it's one of those things. But yeah, they got me.
Damn it. Here's the thing. Let me get this out there and get this out there right real quick and now. Whoever's behind that, you know that you're part of the fucking problem, right? You know, if you're not,
I want to be a problem, so yeah.
If whoever did that knows, well, they obviously know they did it, but if they know about all of these problems, they're still creating problems, then they're part of the problem. So now, mind you, we're going to talk about the world of targeted individuals and gang stalking. What you're going through right now is indeed gang stalking in a formality. What I go through is a type of formality of gang stalking. Here's the thing. Even the most minute shit, like censorship, clampdown, your stuff getting deleted, your stuff getting hacked, your stuff get. Dude, I know people that have had after they've blown the whistle on some shit, right? They go out to their car and they find like a coffee cup on the top of their vehicle. And they know damn well that they didn't put it there. Right? And I'm like, what? They're like, yeah. So they're being watched, they're being harassed, they're being manipulated, and again, hacked. Right? That's the pisser with military, because they got to do these things at almost a black op military level. Am I right or wrong? They've got training doing these things.
No, no, that's not exactly true. Because everything from the dun 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 at the beginning of the news is designed to have an emotional impact and a psychological reaction on the watcher. That's why that when I watch that stuff, I'm always prepared for those big beats and tones, because I don't want to let them put me in the mood of anger or frustration or fear that those tones automatically inflict on most people. And if you notice those reactions, it's just like when you're starting to watch sports and whatnot, they ramp up the music. I mean, it's with anything. They want to get you into it. They want to sell you. And so it's literally everywhere all the time. It's not covert at all. It's all out in the open. It's like that one meme that says, there's no secret plan to kill everybody. They're actually pretty open and honest about it at this point.
I just did you see that? Did you just see that that comment roll by from Miss Beth Ann?
You put out the mood. You know what? I've been having headaches, stomach upset, dry cough, garbage.
Well,
yeah. So Beth, you should check out that chemical that the FDA just rolled the ban on. The memes are rolling around Facebook right now, but it's a complex name. I think it's like CPF something. It's a complex name. It almost looks Russian. But it's a chemical that was banned in 2021 because of all the damage it does to infants and adults. But the initial thing that happens is, I guess, people get like really sick, like allergically sick. And yeah, charcoal is great for a detox. Eating fresh avocados, not the Appeal brand. But they hit you on all levels. It's like I like to say, Nazis don't do anything single purpose. If it's not multi-purpose, then they'll combine the programs until they are multi-purpose. like sun dimming to kill the people while blocking the Nibiru phenomenon. Um, they like to combine their plans. Klaus Schwab was actually just caught talking about this, about like combining the AI and the Neuralink and the quantum computing into like its own giant universe within your own mind and stuff. He was just talking about that in front of CPAC. So that's kind of how they do it. But what I wanted to explain was the method, and I actually want to get into some of the nitty gritty and the gory aspects,
All right.
and then get into the gang stalking, because that's now the result of the experiments that have been getting done to like reverse engineer harmonic frequencies for telepathy. So that's kind of where I want to get with it, but we'll start at the beginning. So the beginning is MK Ultra in America, taking innocent American victims, most of whom were homeless, many of whom were also from insane asylums, and also military volunteers, extracting their DMT, chemically manipulating it into DMT 1 through 19, because if there was a DMT 19, there was a DMT 1 through 18 as well, and then injecting it into another unwitting host. And that's where they realized that the pineal gland and the multidimensional brain are actually, really the corridor. They probably knew before. That's why they were experimenting with the pineal and DMT 19, but they really didn't know about multidimensional brain science back then. I mean, we barely know anything now, but we do know that the brain is multidimensional in its nature.
Okay, keep
So,
going.
In order to understand the effects that this would have, because of course, most of the patients died. Everyone who was experimented on with DMT 1 through 18 died. And so they would do post mortem autopsies, and sometimes they would take the necrotic tissues and put them into other unwitting hosts. You really got to read the Banshee trials and really see what they did with DMT 19, all these sick fucks that were involved. Robert Byrd is the one that's being, virally mentioned the most for being the handlers of the MK Ultra victims. He hasn't been dead long. He has a foundation, so his foundation is actually being sued by the MK Ultra victims. That's still in court. They've been suing for almost 8 years now in an open lawsuit, and nobody's talking about it. They're way more interested in all this stupid shit, which is more mind control. Biden versus Trump, this Zionist Nazi versus that Zionist Nazi. We know who and what they are now. It's not obvious because it's what they're funding. And that's, one point that I like to make to everyone who might still be holding out some vestige because Trump is so popular. But Trump was funding the Ukrainian Nazis. He armed the Ukrainian Nazis. It's only when he stopped arming the Ukrainian Nazis that they gave him shit. But you can't tell me those biolabs just popped up in 2020. They were funded from 2014 on, which is also the year of the Maidan coup. 16,000 people died that year, which gives them plenty of material to run those, 3 to 4 dozen transhumanist labs, where it is known that they did transhumanist experiments and they weaponized viruses in those labs. So, and they're still doing it. That's also known, that was all headed up by American scientists, working with Azov Nazis. So the Nazis delivered the bodies and the American scientists did the transhumanist experiments. And what these transhumanist experiments are, it's ranging in everything from telepathy to just basic transplantation, because just about everyone's usable for one of their parts. If you have a client that needs a replacement eye, then you got a bunch of eyes sitting around and you got a match for that client, you might as well use the body parts to make money. This is the real source and reason for war, is to amass, it's two-pronged. It's one, to unearth and get access to ancient technologies and ancient sites, and two, to get enough bodies together to do transhumanist experiments. Now, I was breaking down the numbers earlier. The estimates right now are about 6 million people since 2001 in the Middle East that have that died. And pretty consistently every year since 2000, it's been about 400,000 kids that stay missing out of the 800,000 plus that go missing every year. So right there, that's 650,000 people that have been getting killed every year for the last 20 years, and that's just from our foreign policy.
Jesus Christ, man.
So, and that was all propaganda, that was all lies, that was all setups and plans that have been in effect for decades. So it's all a combination. So I want to get into the nitty gritty and the gory shit, which is, what, the people I was talking to are most curious about. They have to reverse engineer the harmonic frequencies of people that they've confirmed to have metaphysical abilities in order to then dial into the harmonic frequency of the people who are out there who have those metaphysical abilities. The closest analog I could think of would be Cerebro from X-Men, but he has to plug into that. But it's still all based on harmonic brainwave frequencies. And we see this in our sci-fi a lot, but it is valid. The same harmonic frequency between twins can be measured. The harmonic frequency between a mother and her children can be measured. And if you tap into that, then you could tap into their emotions, thoughts, feelings, and the way they communicate to one another, unspoken. And so that's what they've done. And so a lot of the people that now feel like they're getting targeted, some of these people are going to be a little paranoid, but you can't be really too paranoid these days unless you're running down the street with your underpants on your head, You really can't be too scared of what they have planned for you. So for those of you that have had abilities for a long time and are only feeling now that you're getting attention that you really don't want from entities you've never really dealt with before, that's because these experiments have been empirically witnessed. Actual telepaths, empaths, future viewers, remote viewers, name an ability, they've been dissected. And their harmonic frequency has been reverse engineered if it's been successful. And now they're plugging those harmonic frequencies in, and they will find a way to find you. It's like a mutant tracker.
You see this, what you're describing, what you're describing right now is one of the reasons why I try very hard, other than astral projection, that everybody knows that they do it. The majority of everybody that I know, everybody does do the astral state. Everybody. So that is the most common that everybody learns first. I can astral project. I can vividly dream, right? But this is why I don't even remotely care to have a healing ability, a spitting fire ability, or whatever you know what I'm saying. And Teresa is in the chat. She's a good example. She says all the time, don't share your abilities. If you can heal, don't tell anybody. Say it through channels. Say it through, you know what I'm saying? These abilities that you have that you technically don't really want to be targeted, don't share your ability. Unless it's like, thank you for the stars, Mr. Roundtree. Appreciate that, bro. That's like James Rose. If they have a specific ability, right? Don't say anything unless we're talking one-on-one or in a group chat, and you trust the individual. Do you agree?
Being the devil's advocate that I love to play, I see both sides of it.
All right.
I do agree with you. We have the witch trials, several. We have the Spanish Inquisition. We have the blood drinking of King James to reference. And that's all because people were known for their healing abilities or their magical abilities through the area, and they were hunted down for that. And it's been that way for thousands of years. The flip of that, though, it's what they want. They want you suppressing your abilities. One of the reasons that my abilities didn't develop the way they could have is because I didn't have a teacher until I was about 19. And I only got a teacher because I went out and I sought one out. And it still kind of chanced upon each other, but I learned pretty much everything I needed to know about energy work from those people. And from there, I was pretty good on my own. But at the same time, if I had become aware of a teacher or had a teacher at 12, 13, 14 years old, when I was first awakening, that's a truly horrifying time if you're manifesting powerful abilities, especially if one of those abilities is seeing the invisible, because they'll just throw you in a loony bin. That's why you can't tell people you see things. That's one thing you can't tell people. You can't tell people who don't see things that you see things. You should be careful with people that do tell you they see things,
Right.
telling them you see things. So it is really tricky, but it's dual-sided, because how do you decide who's an adept, who's going to be your student, who's going to be your master, who's going to be your teacher, who's going to be your partner, who's going to be your twin flame, and who's going to sell you out? It's a very hard distinction. But at the same time, the other part is not developing abilities the way they can be developed.
Yeah, okay, so there's the right there. What James said is the double-edged sword.
And yeah, and that's one way of feeling, and that's actually the way I feel. I feel like my abilities were suppressed. I feel like my physical development, because I have Caracas fusion lines, I'm pretty sure my brain's supposed to be bigger. And I'm also pretty sure that the reason it's not is because they gave me all these freaking vaccines as a kid, and it suppressed my actual skull development. But I should be much more powerful than I am, and I'm already too powerful for my own liking. At the same time, I mean, maybe that was necessary, but I think about that experience for other people, you know, their abilities being limited to the degree where most of these people can't get off their phones. Most of these people can't even see what's going on around them.
No shit.
I watched a video where this lady was at the park with her baby, and her husband wanted to teach her a lesson about not paying attention to the child while she was at the park. So he replaced the baby with a stuffed animal while she wasn't looking, and she was literally standing like 2 feet away. And it took her about 20 minutes to notice that her kid was gone. And she had moved the carriage around and everything. She'd taken a bunch of selfies, and then she has to get all the way to the car and finally notices that it's not her kid and it's a stuffed animal in the carriage. I mean, this is how far gone people are.
Wow.
And it's all because of the combination mind control.
Holy shit. Michelle says, according to the cartoons in our movies, we can all shoot electricity from our fingertips.
Airbrusher Mish,
Yeah,
I challenge
Mish.
you to look up the video Electricity Fight. Look up Electricity Fight on YouTube, and you will see people actually shooting lightning. So that proves that all you need is 2 Tesla coils and 2 Tesla suits, and you can, and your friends can freaking shoot lightning.
Rhea says, only if y'all could see what I see in the sky, it's a crystal ball. This girl
Pretty
sees
sure that's a planet in the sky.
This girl sees some shit in the sky. No doubt about it. Miss Marnie Slater comes strutting her ass in here. You're late to the party, chicka. You know what? Here's the thing. I want to ask you something real quick. If and this bothers the shit out of me, because everybody knows that I can, like, literally, I walk that multi-dimension because I sleep the way I sleep. 2 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, so on. That cycle, right? And then finally, whenever I die, I die. It's like, everybody wonders what the fuck happened to the Monday show. It's because I died. I went down. I told Melissa to wake me up, take a nap. I'm taking a nap. I did. Problem is I was up Friday night, Saturday, literally Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. And right after the show on Friday night, I did not go to bed until I think 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock the next morning. I had to get back up about noon. Nevertheless, anyway, my entire sleep schedule's whacked. So, not having the ability to really, really, really fall asleep, and then whenever I do fall asleep, I'm very restless, and my body's asleep and I'm awake. My body's asleep.
Yep.
I'm awake. Okay. I can literally, like, I can lay there. I mean, I am dog ass tired. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. Sorry, my dad just had surgery, so I had to make sure that he's all good. But I'm here. I hope he's well, Marnie, for real.
Here's to fast healing.
Okay. So where's that at? Because I got derailed. I thought she said something happened to her father. Matt,
Yeah, no, I saw that.
Matt, did you dream? No, here's the thing. I don't. Yeah, oh yeah, I dream. But the thing is I become lucid in my dream because I don't sleep enough. By the time I hit the bed, my ass is so dog tired, my body falls asleep. My mind however, on the other hand, is wide awake and alert. Okay, so at that point, that is how I was able to go check on two of our recent friends, right? Now, the kicker is this. I want to ask you, I'm going to run this by you, knowing who you are. So I get over there, right, I get over there through astral projection, very much so. And everybody that has done this can verify what I'm telling you. I get over there to check on them, and through my multidimensional state, and I noticed that they are surrounded by a black smoke. I'm talking like you've seen the fire. You can throw like a piece of plastic in a fire, right? You know how you got
shadow person. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Nothing but black smoke, bro. And
yeah.
Okay,
like sentient.
Okay, I'm like, what the hell? And it just surrounded it just fucking surrounded me. And I'm like looking around, and about that time I started to get defensive. I'm on edge. And
like your spider sense was going off, right?
Oh yeah, dude.
Tingles. Yeah, that's the instinct when they come around, and that's how, like, everyone always has that same experience. That's how I know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, I hate these things. That's one thing. That's one way I actually knew that Mr. J was fake, because him and Dawn would actually get upset when I discussed shadow people and multidimensional creatures. Like, they would actually get visibly upset. So I was like, wait, you guys don't actually want to heal people? Because, like, that's what me and my pagan friends were all about. We're all about, diving into the dream and saving people who were being terrorized at night.
You can clearly throw his name out there. Mr. Because this is the thing. This dude is, here's, you know what? Let me just throw this out there before I say this. If you are anywhere near the spiritual community, the healing community, the truther community, and you use a fake name preaching the truth, get the fuck out the door.
Well, not only that, it was really his grooming method. When you are intentionally adding people's family, and especially going after their kids under added fake names, right. There is something predatory about that.
Yeah.
And that ultimately is what comes out in Kabbalism. It's like, I'm still trying to actually figure out the difference between Gnosticism and Kabbalism. You know what I mean? We are kind of getting off topic too.
I can't do that though.
It's the fakes that really screw it for everybody, because just about everybody has ability or some potential for ability. It's just most people don't get to realize it.
George Overton says, take a picture of the smoke, zoom in on it. Better yet, zoom in on the smoke of the towers falling. No fear. But that's the thing. I can't, dude. My body was asleep. I was in an astral state. Do you see what I'm saying? I couldn't take a picture and send it to you. Anyway, let me get back to my story. So I finally get there. I get there to them, and once I walk over to them, and I'm literally surrounded by this smoke. And immediately I reach into my coat, my overcoat, and I got my hand on my sword. I shit you not. So and the moment I put my hand on my sword, every fear growing up as a child came to be a real thing. So in other words, is like The Exorcist, right? You know who Linda Blair is? She came at me, right? She came at me because I was scared shitless of her growing up. And I'm like, what? And I look at her, and she's like looking at me, and she's like growling, snarling. I'm like, you've got to. I think I rolled my eyes. I'm like, this ain't going to happen. You
gotta be shitting me.
Oh, yeah. I grabbed my sword, and I'm like, goodbye. And I just like took her head right off of her shoulders. And I see it. Literally, I feel her. I watch her body fall. And I see her head fall off her body, and I keep walking, and I walk over her body, and I kick her head on up into the smoke. And I finally get to them. And I'm like, this is weird. They didn't move. I couldn't get them to move with me. And these are supposedly people that know how to do these things. I'm telling you, these people are very well supposedly versed in what we're doing here. We're talking about. But they're not. Obviously, they're not, because I couldn't get them to move. And what I'm telling you, every single person that knows this story about the smoke and what I'm telling you can absolutely verify that these living beings were surrounded in the multidimensional state with smoke. Now, what the fuck the smoke was, we don't know.
Those are shadow people, dude. I keep telling you.
So you're telling me that they were surrounded by
living entities? Yes. Living mass, living shadows. The biblical reference would be legion or legion.
The jinn.
The jinn, exactly.
So this goes right with what Miss Rhea says. I'm sorry, down here. They knew they was on there to cloak themselves. Kind of like that, but however, if you channel, I'll just throw this out there because she knows. She should, man, I don't want to throw anybody's name out there. But nevertheless, Rhea knows that if you channel bad shit, sooner or later, you're going to get possessed. That's like literally opening yourself up to, being possession, demonic possession, jinn possession. There's nothing I could do about it, bro. I mean, everything that number one, they wouldn't move, and nevertheless, these things kept like projecting different thoughts of random
everything you're afraid of.
Everything I was afraid of growing up. But there again, man, I'm fucking like wailing my sword and shit. I'm like, come get the fuck up, get up, and they wouldn't get up, dude.
So just for the people listening, I want them to understand that like the conversation we're having right now is, me. Like I've seen these creatures, I've interacted with them, I've dealt with them. So.
All right, I'm sorry, but the world of TI and gang stalking, this kind of goes with that shit. It kind of goes with it totally. because here's the thing. At some point, these people, these entities, these beings, kept saying, please send me energy. And I'm like, I did. I absolutely did. But the problem was, if I can't get to them or help them, I guess I can say, why can't they help themselves?
Okay, look, if my theory is right, these creatures, these shadow entities, they're actually just extensions of archons.
Carissa, I'm sorry, honey.
So if I'm correct, these things, they've been doing this for a very, very long time. All right, so
that's wrong.
That's one thing that you should consider.
That's bullshit. Carissa says, I've got proof of game stalking and torture, and no one cares. Bullshit. We care. I care. NASAnon.
That's why we're here.
We care. We definitely care. So it's your whatever tribe you're in, Carissa, I'm telling you right now, you're hanging around the wrong goddamn people. Because this is absolutely a problem. I'm sorry, bro. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I mean, we wouldn't be doing this. We're definitely not in it for the money. Yeah.
No.
But I see where she's coming from too. I get it.
Oh man.
Because we've all been there.
I've seen that.
Trying
right
to deal with a world that just doesn't give a shit.
What she said right there. I personally seen that. I've been tortured on camera. I have absolutely seen on the dark web, people being tortured, videotaped on the dark web, and sold for money.
What do you think Faces of Death was? Where do you think they get all those tapes?
Honey, you don't gotta send it to me, babe. I'm telling you right now, you do not have to send me the video. I absolutely believe you, because I've seen it myself. I literally have seen this shit. Huh? I mean, what she's saying is just real.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, where I grew up, we didn't want to believe as kids that those vans would come and take you away. But sure enough, if you weren't paying attention and you were out too late, those vans would come and take kids away. You know, nobody wants to believe the truth, you know, because it's not fun, it's not good. A world possessed by multidimensional creatures, that sucks.
I'm very knowledgeable about. I couldn't read that comment. I'm so sorry. Hang on a second.
But yeah, so that's the nature of every archonic or shadow entity I've ever dealt with. They always like to project, just like you were saying, whatever the fears of the person they're trying to victimize, because they have to isolate you in order to maintain the victimization. If you get a support group or you find a bunch of other dream warriors to work with, then they have no power.
She says, "What do we do?" She's like, well, "So now, what do we do about it?" You do what we're doing. You absolutely do what we're doing. See, this is the kicker. Hearing about, I'm serious. What we're going to be doing here, or I'm going to be involved in here in the next, I guarantee you, a month, is I'm going to be with some guys, and we are literally going to call out the black market. This is just completely off topic. We're going to call out the black market of the illegal sales of Egyptian antiquities. I've had enough of it. And the people that literally on the plateau, they're tired of it too. What do we do? Because every face that we see in mainstream, oh, well, they tell us all about these things, blah 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 blah. Well, they're part of the problem. You see, they are part of the problem. That's why on my own personal page you see me. Well, if you've signed an NDA and you know all about these things, then you're part of the problem.
Well, as someone who's been part of the problem, yeah, but there are lots of people out there who are still part of the problem. And it's another one where it's all about balance. You know, there's no black and white. Good and bad are really antiquated concepts. Even light and dark are antiquated concepts, because if you're not the gray, then when you really start seeing what's going down, when you really start seeing the current results of even the current bioweapons, not the ones they're about to bust out, but the ones they already have, this is the things of nightmares. I mean, you'd have to wait. Have you watched the movie Await Further Instructions?
I've not seen this.
It's an excellent film. And it's, especially for horror lovers and conspiracy lovers, it's one that everyone should watch. All these people get locked into their homes, and it goes into this one family, and they cover everything from racism to forced vaccination to lockdowns, all in the span of just one night. And it's incredible. Without giving too much away, it's up there in sci-fi. They span everything from Morgellons to concepts of AI perceiving itself as God,
Right.
all in one little house. But await further instructions. It's a great film.
What is the name of this again?
Await further instructions.
That's the name of it?
Yeah, I'll post it in the other chat.
All right. Okay. Carissa Best says, and they torture these ongoing. She knows all about this stuff. Magic is real. Oh yeah, everything that this young lady is saying is absolutely true, and it's a hard pill to swallow for people that don't really see this or get this. This is absolutely a hard pill to swallow. That's why I like to say that, you know what, if you got people that don't really get this or understand this, bring them to the Matrix. We'll gradually, softly bend them over and we'll give them an enema of the red pill, because they need it. If they can't understand that this shit is real now, then that's it. There is no going back.
Let me tell you a story. Okay, because we have to count for everybody. All right. I'm seeing all kinds of people getting, black pilled, straight up black pilled. One person in particular lost 24 family members in 2 years.
Damn, man.
So black pilling. And once you make a mistake, it's too late. I made the mistake of working for NASA, but without that mistake, I couldn't have become a whistleblower. I couldn't have the inside knowledge I have. I wouldn't know how these people think.
Right.
And I couldn't offer that insight to anyone else. So we walk these paths.
Sure.
But I know this one girl. When we first met, she showed me, just like Carissa here, she showed me evidence of her own sex trafficking for years, decades. And she finally broke free. She filed a lawsuit. The lawsuit was going well, and she was offered a settlement. She was offered a contract to work as a chef on yachts for the rest of her life. And she took it. And now she makes food for the same type of people that used to traffic her. And she sees the trafficking going on all the time. But every day she continues to make that decision. Now, any day she came forward and said, hey, I want to out all these people, I'd be right there. But I'm not going to proceed to judge her because she doesn't want to risk dying for saying no. I wouldn't. I don't. But that's still her choice.
No, you know, the thing is, I'm grateful that she's got the guts to even be in here sharing this, because there's a lot of TI. That's not an app, Carissa. No. Just literally just dial the number. That's all you got to do is dial the number right down below me. Pick a number. I don't know where you're at, but there's plenty of numbers down there. I think the Germany number they killed that one. But every other number down below us works. All you got to do is call in by phone.
So I want to digress to the one question: what do we do about it?
What do we do about it?
Metaphysically speaking, you have a lot of natural abilities. You can shrink your toroidal field or pull in your personal shielding. You can also reinforce and amplify it by making it smaller. You can learn to mask your empathic signature, mixing up the theta waves with the gamma waves. And if you can figure out how to voluntarily multidimensionally activate, this is the easiest done by thinking about multidimensional concepts like visions you've had, deja vus you've had, lucid dreams you have. This is a trick to self-awaken the multidimensional brain. Otherwise, it's awakening reflexively like a spider sense in the presence of a multidimensional conversation or a multidimensional threat. But if you can learn to voluntarily awaken it and turn it on, you can also learn to turn it off and shut it down. So if you find yourself in an instant where you actually are being assaulted by an entity that's trying to gain purchase of you, you can turn that part of you completely off and they won't even have anything to grab onto.
Ray is saying you can use a mirror for shielding, so everyone that's thrown at you gets right back to them. I understand what she's saying right there, but let me share with you, Ray. In the astral projection state, it is very hard. I'm just saying it is very hard to even produce a mirror. In fact, it's damn near impossible. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if on that side I don't know. The only my guess is NASAnon, let me ask you this, because I've tried to create a mirror in the multidimensional state, and it's almost impossible. Why? Or it is impossible. I've been told because it's a portal.
Yeah, I really don't know. It may be because you perceive it as a portal. I think personally in that state, I know the basic channel form through energy while you absorb the other ambient energy in that space, because you have better energy absorption there, and constantly refilling yourself. Because if you make too many constructs in that place or try to expand your world too much, it leaves you depleted. It's basically like spending magic points. You only have so much energy. Because everything you do, you're stressing those muscles in your multidimensional brain. If they're not well worked out, they'll atrophy.
Mirror shielding is whenever you get in your mind and you focus that your body's covered in mirrors. Oh, okay. I got you. All right. See, I was not understanding what she was saying or how she was saying it. So when somebody's projecting something at you, it goes right back to the sender. All right, I
have you ever met people that have like razor sharp wit? It's almost preternatural. Like they almost have their joke ready before anyone even drops a crack on them. There are sacred mirrors out there, like people that are actually natural living reflections.
How? See, even in that multidimensional state, you can become a TI. And I know this because I've had it happen. Let's go back to Mr. Jonathan Mercedes, bro. Right? I've had dude come at me, and then bring other people with him, and I'm like, bro, go away. I'm more for some reason I'm more badass there than here, because here. I help other targeted individuals. I know about them. We've interviewed several of them. The majority of the MK kids, almost all of the MK kids are now TIs, bro. Every damn one of them. Yeah, did you hear me?
Have you ever heard of a situation where a spirit followed someone home and then kind of took on their family just from that? Like, it seems completely innocuous, like almost impossible, but one day someone just got followed home by a spirit or brought something home that was inhabited by a spirit, and from there everything just went to shit.
I
mean, it's really that real, and it doesn't take much. Remember, the real form for these things is an insect. It's like, I was thinking about it, and I was like, I wonder, because of the form, because of the shape, because of the tentacles, if these archons, these giant fucking sky jellyfish, if they're not just like tardigrades or water bears. Because the thing about tardigrades is, in just a little bit of water, they can come back to life forever, which air is misty water. And they can hibernate for millions of years, not thousands, but millions of years in extreme temperatures, extreme cold, extreme pressure. They're immune to pressure. So what if, at that point, when you think about it like a multidimensional, creature, it doesn't have power. It's no longer a god. It's only when you venerate these things as gods. Same with politicians. When you venerate them as celebrities, you're giving them your power. Same thing with Hollywood celebrities. And politicians have become celebrities in the modern age. It's all part of the mind control.
We've got country
and in that
code,
space, in that multidimensional space, you can pretty much do what you want, but you are restricted based on your own ability. Like, if you don't have a certain energy, or you don't have the imagination to visualize something, you're not going to be able to manifest it. You have to see it first in your head and then make it real. Otherwise, it's all reflex. And with the J-Man...
And I think...
Oh.
There she is.
Go ahead.
Got a country.
You're inspiring me. Sorry.
Got country code.
I didn't know you were there.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure as to where are you from, Australia or Canada?
New Zealand.
Country code 020. Oh well,
New Zealand is transhumanist.
Look at that shit. Well, welcome aboard, Carissa. Right, Carissa?
Hi.
How are you?
Hi.
I'm glad to have you here.
That's the one. Yep, it's Carissa.
Glad.
I agree with what he said, but I think the problem is people don't access their subconscious mind enough, and that's actually what limits their power. So most people's subconscious mind actually attacks their own power because it doesn't believe in their power because they actually don't have any. And so if your mind doesn't believe that you have power, it will sabotage your power. So you actually have to work on the subconscious mind first.
Absolutely.
And that's through actual action, in my opinion.
You are absolutely correct. That is that. Yes.
That's why all demonic possession is isolate the victim, go through a series of yeses, terrorize them every night and steal all their energy so that they're physical nature degrades, and they give in more and more and more to the corruption.
Bro, she is like 3 times louder than you. You know that? Look at this.
What?
She is like 3 times louder than you. You got to do something about that mic, bro. Look at that.
All right,
there,
all right.
There you go. She is like nice and loud. And Carissa.
Well, it's coming through on the digital reader, so. But yeah, it's New Zealand. That's one of those rough areas. That's where all the pedos ran when all the charges started coming out. Plus, on adrenochrome started getting made. Tom Hanks ran there. I think Oprah ran there. Like, a lot of high-profile people ran there when the Epstein thing was getting blown up. It was kind of wild.
Absolutely. Sadly, the universe has got me in the world's worst hub for all of it. I obviously am supposed to be here, but I'll tell you what, it is absolutely hell on earth here. Every second person in my city is a pedophile, and it's largely applauded, if anything, here. So it's not even like, not only do they not get prosecuted, but actually people will hate me for trying to save the children.
You've got a hell of a story. I can tell you.
Pretty bad.
You've got a hell of a story. I know you do.
Fuck yeah, I do. Am I allowed to swear?
What'd you say?
I'm an MK Ultra victim. If you guys know what Monarch programming is, I come out of my programming in and out from 2017. But of course, the torture goes up as you come out, and therefore I had to constantly expand my power above the programming. Now they're scared of me.
You're goddamn right they are.
Because I can actually manipulate reality.
So let me tell you what. Here's the thing, okay? I don't know where or how you came floating on in here, but here's what I'm going to do with you, okay? I have in my own little personal piss circle. I'm not kidding you. I've got about 5 of them. 2 or 3 of them committed suicide. That we all talk or the shit y'all go through is ridiculous. But nevertheless, I know right now 5 of them that I'm going to put in touch with you so that you're not alone. Okay?
Thank you.
I interview you guys. We talk. We get your story. You share where how you. Here's the thing. Doing what you're doing right now is the beginning of a healing process. Okay? Getting in touch with other people. Here's the thing. The guy you're on the phone with right now, he too is a targeted individual. Not me. I'm targeted on a whole different level. But NASAnon is also a targeted individual. Okay? So he's one of those people.
Yeah.
Okay? He understands what you're going through.
I can feel your guys' electricity.
No, while I am a targeted individual now, I was raised as a groomed individual. So my family was the cult. When I say I got the nice side, it's about as ironic as I can be, because you still go through all the sexual conditioning, the sex torture. You're literally surrounded by demons all the time. And my sister and I were both AB negatives. So we had abilities that no child should have. I was forecasting death by the time I was 7, and of course I didn't know my family was a cult because I was 7 years old. And so we went through all the grooming.
Right.
I wasn't aware. I had to tune so much out until I was about 19, and that was right around the time when I got my first metaphysical teacher. And then I had an ethical. I finally had a subjective ethical viewpoint to bounce off of. Because everything before that, I was literally surrounded by a cult at home, at work, was working for NASA. So all those weirdos like Ghislaine Maxwell.
Wow, working for NASA? Oh,
yeah,
God.
that's why they call me NASAnon.
Oh, God.
From 16 to 20,
You poor
I was
thing.
a
But that's amazing.
at NASA headquarters. And that's why I know that Ghislaine Maxwell was an assistant program manager for Space Camp when I talk about her like grooming astronauts, it's like no pun intended, but that whole program was to take kids and make them into astronauts. And most people won't even believe that as a fact, because they don't want to believe Ghislaine Maxwell, someone like that, could be so inundated in society. But if you go back, there's the pictures of her at like Disney doing the Save the Children's Fund in 1985. Like, who is she shaving the children's fund for? Her dad?
Gross.
Yeah, so yeah, no, I've dealt with a lot of people, people directly in my family, because it's hard, when you've been a part of a family where your cousins have like raped your sister. How do you explain that to people, especially people you want to trust? But at the end of the day, the best thing you can do is take your power back by talking about those experiences. Even if people decide to betray you, you've taken power over them, because until you actually get it out in the air and you realize it can't hold you back anymore, it's still there in your head, egging away at you. And when you have psychic abilities and you're already hearing everybody's thoughts to begin with, you don't need the extra, corruption in there. You're already dealing with, multidimensional creatures, you're dealing with downloads, you're dealing with harmonic frequencies and trying to tune those out as they ramp up and up and up and up and up. And that's where we all are today. The hum, the harmonic allergies, that's actually diagnosed as a real, legit allergy. And it's because they're turning the harmonic frequencies up so high that the inner tympanic membrane over vibrates. I don't know if you know this, but 5G vibrates 5,000 times gamma level. Gamma is ultimate human level. So going at 5,000 times that, no wonder we're all tired.
That is absolutely why we have to maintain being above the 3D as much as humanly possible.
Clarissa, may I ask you something?
We have to be outside the constraints of matter.
Can I ask you something? Do you
Absolutely.
Are you,
I'm an open book.
Are you able? You say you are an MK kid. May I ask you if you remember the White Room?
No, so my in-culture programming was actually part of a new format of programming that no one's aware of yet. How do I explain this? So my parents were demonically targeted. They're not even aware that they were part of the in-culture programming. And I was targeted through the school system, isolated, chosen for extension classes that involved things like, if you've seen The Giver, I was like the child that holds the memories. They were giving me a knowledge about secret energy. They were giving me detective classes, all this during school hours, but as like a special student.
Of course. You were.
I was isolated beyond imaginability. So I wasn't even allowed to watch, like, say, The Simpsons or any normal so-called thing. And this was so that when they did start torture, that it was so beyond the scope of my seclusion that it actually was far worse than someone who might have been dabbled through abuse.
Now, may I ask you, at what age did this begin for you?
The abuse side of things did exist in a low format my whole childhood. It got extensively worse when I was coming into my sexual energy, which is common.
About 12, right? 11, 12? Okay.
Yeah. That's when the pedophiles, suddenly I was going for sleepovers at pedophiles' houses and things. But I was different from the start. Like, I actually have been sent back here, and I have prior memory from, I guess we'll call it the other dimension, the other place. And so I always called people out. So, like I said, the pedophiles didn't even get a chance because I would scream, yell, tell everybody I could. And so I was largely protected until I was completely under control.
All right, bro. She doesn't remember here.
Once I was out of school.
She doesn't remember being programmed, meaning she remembers the multidimensional state, but does not remember the White Room. Okay.
No, there was no White Room for me.
Okay, but there was. You just don't remember it. Would you tell me about the gap There's got to have been a gap in your life. When was that?
I remember having special abilities around the age of 7. I guess that's the age where pure consciousness fully arises into this realm in a more powerful setting. It seems to be around the age of 7 for everybody. I remember being able to do things that I'm not going to speak here because I'm probably just going to get told I'm a nutter or something. But I remember being able to do crazy things. And then I was told I couldn't do it. And then suddenly it stopped. And then suddenly I was getting more abused. And from there, I don't... the gap... No, I don't know. I will admit, I will profess that there is glitches that happen still mentally for me where I believe that maybe they weren't so evil, and then my subconscious will represent evidence to me, and then so I go in and out still a little bit, but for the most part, I mean, I've got. They haven't been able to take my power, but certainly the suicidality programming is what they heavily rely on now to try and trigger. They don't try to control me anymore because I programmed my subconscious to react without my own conscious choice. As soon as I realized I was programmed, I started programming myself as much as possible and created my own archetypes, or what we would call alters,
Right.
so as to basically protect myself.
I was about to ask you if you were aware, if you, your own self, Carissa, was aware of even speaking to me and who you are. Meaning I was making sure that you are you, meaning the frontal personality.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm just clarifying, okay?
Yeah.
Because you called me.
Almost all alters are under my control. Yeah.
Very
Except,
good.
sometimes, say, if a child has been harmed, an alter will come out to protect the child without my consciousness. But I don't think that's a bad thing.
That's all right. That's all right. Now, what I'm gonna put you in. Just stick with us. Go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry.
One of the things that I've realized about myself, and I've had to weaponize about myself, is that in being raised and going through classic demonic possession for a while before I was healed, I realized that in that process you develop a monster. And when you're done with all of those experiences, the monster's still there. The monster doesn't go away. So you have to learn how to channel the inner monster. And this is something for anyone with trauma, especially given the calling. You are supposed to take the societal rage that you have built up from all the atrocity that you have seen and turn it into a living weapon against the vile amongst us. Don't ever doubt that that is your calling. Okay? Because anybody that tells you different is fucking selling something.
Oh, yeah.
You hear those assholes are trying to redo The Princess Bride too. They're once again trying to ruin perfection. Like, yeah. You know, they're going to take everything that we love and they're going to shit on all of it until we tell them and force them to stop. Because Nazi pedophile mind control freaks don't change their programming. Now, one thing I do want to ask you, Miss, is, and thank you for your testimony and what you told here. I have experienced these things before in other people, especially being from the DC metro area. I spent some time out in Colorado, so I've seen the MK Ultra victims in the wild. The former homeless of Colorado, they're completely lost, always looking up at the sky. But the thing is, they're seeing the multiple planets and the invisible creatures that they were programmed to see. Like, they're actually seeing clearer than anyone. But one question I have for you, Miss, is how can you be sure that the programming didn't stick still? This is something I worry about myself. Just
that's a freaking good question. Seriously, that fair call. And I sometimes ponder this as well. But my understanding of how I'm not programmed is that I am actively using frequency and vibration and energy manipulation that I've learned from the bastards themselves to attack them back, and they are actually indeed dying. Two of them have died. So if they were still controlling me, I wouldn't be doing that. That's absolutely the absolute definite thing that they would absolutely not allow me to do. Like, if I was them, I would absolutely not be letting me do that. So that's how I know I've successfully broken enough programming that I'm not controllable.
I want to let you guys know they just reset the connection to the switchboard. I just want to let you know.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, did you catch that?
I didn't even get disconnected either. It's like somebody just popped on it and hijacked it real quick.
Yeah. They just
They'll be listening. Of course.
Of course they are, because here's the thing. They're learning from you, as well as you're learning they're learning how to track you while you're trying to learn how to avoid them. So it's like a learn, teach, learn kind of thing. So welcome aboard, whoever the hell just tuned in. It's for real.
And do you guys know about occlumency? It's mentioned in Harry Potter.
The Aquaman?
Occlumency, the ability to keep people from your own mind. The reason why this is mentioned in all of the magical movies and stories and things is because they do use AI technology, ultrasonic waves and things to read your mind to figure out how you do things. And if you don't know how to produce static, I guess, or like what I would call like an invisibility cloak, they have access to all of your tools. And I highly recommend, if you haven't started practicing this, that you start doing it ASAP.
Yeah, no, that's what I was talking about.
That'll
earlier.
be why they joined, is to get what we don't say.
It's all right.
With mind control or personal mind control, learning to self-activate, those kinds of things. Like, you have to be able to do those things if you want to compete on an even keel. Otherwise, there's not going to be a competition. It has to be an annihilation.
Right.
If you want an example of what happens to a weakened people, look at the people of Gaza right now. Like, that's exactly what they'll do to all of us. As soon as they get the chance, we're all goyim to them. We're all subhuman. And remember, they can fucking always use most of you for food. Because they're not the same kind of human that you are. You know, like, they can actually eat other humans as food without risking anything. It's one of the freakiest things about these motherfuckers.
Which is why you must create agreements. You must create energy. They're actually chucking frequency literally through my ears, a high-pitched ultrasonic sound. But it doesn't matter, because I created a wall, an energetic wall, where if they damage me, they get damaged way worse. And so they have tried, since I created this in my reality. See, when someone conjoins into your reality, you decide the terms and conditions of it, because it's your reality. And therefore, when they try to jump into my reality, they get effed up. I won't swear, but they get really, really effed up. So yes, they might get in the door, but once they're in the door, it's my house.
I think that would have been badass to hear her say that, don't you? I think so.
To hear her say what?
She fucked him up.
Well,
yeah, that's why one died. That's
when you say one died. One what? Are you talking about multidimensional creatures? Are you talking about agents? And what exact method did you actually use to kill these things? Because I mean, I've burned them out before with help, but that's all I know.
Right. So the number one thing that they don't want any of us to realize is that we are actually being assisted, that this is actually an interdimensional spiritual war, and that there are actually other beings, entities, whatever you want to call it, on the good side that are actually assistive and helpful, that have been here since eternity. And in the basis of that, I'm not stupid enough to inflict my own personal determination of karma onto them. because I could be wrong, and therefore I could get karma come back on me. What I do is I speak the truth of what they've done to me. I use righteous anger or some sort of righteous energy, it could be sadness, whatever, to invoke an outcome that I allow the divine to decide. Now, the particular person in question was a Freemason who was easily adopted by a demonic energy known as Beelzebub. And he was getting paid in the format of methamphetamine and other things to do what he was doing. And also, it's beneficial because he's a Freemason. The first time he seriously harmed me, I invoked that, I call it the creator, whatever, the divine, most high, whatever you want to call it, said that he had passed the line and that he was going to get karma. And it just flowed out of me. It was channeled. The next day, he got in a car accident and got beaten black and blue head to toe with the same amount of injuries he'd given to me over the sustained period of time, but all at once.
Damn
Not
it.
a single broken bone.
Damn it,
when I
girl.
met him in the hospital, he said, first thing he said to me was, that was karma. There's also a video confession of him describing this and saying that it was karma. Him on video literally saying he did XYZ and it was karma. Fast forward years later, he's still abusing me as a Freemason. And he actually died in a car accident. So yet again, he died in a car accident. The same night that I invoked my power to the divine and said, do something. And he died that night.
Girlfriend, you are badass. You know that? And I am absolutely glad to have her on my side. You know that? NASAnon.
I'm so glad to be on this call with you guys. Like, I can't even tell you how many different things I had to go through just to even connect etherically with you guys.
Well, we don't believe in coincidence here, baby. We believe in synchronicity.
There's a lot of synchronicity going on.
Sure.
I noticed that. But the thing is, a lot of it you got to think on the level of a horror movie, because if you're not, you're not giving these people the credit they deserve in terms of evil. But one thing you do also have to realize, and this is one thing I realized because I had a very early awakening, a powerful awakening, and I have as of yet to meet another human being that instinctually knows when the people around them are going to die, as well as goes through the death of the people they're connected to empathically, like actually every feeling, every thought, every sensation. It's very uncomfortable. I have yet to meet anyone that's that empathically gifted. But in that process, you will be surrounded by whispering voices. You will be surrounded by shadow people, because they're literally everywhere in every culture. And I don't care what some people say. It's not an extension of your personal psyche. These shapeshifters, Wetiko, shadow people, skinwalkers, La Llorona, Baba Yaga, the Hat Man, the Hag, Banshees, Jinn, call them what you want. There's one in every region. And they all look the same. There's only about 13 different pictures of shadow people out there, but it's pretty comprehensive. That's weird that, people all around the world have seen the same exact entity taken form, a living shadow, a form of massless mist, a dream demon, a thing that will give you your greatest wishes at the cost of your very soul, eat your fear every night if you let it. But I know for a fact that you can actually kill in your dreams, and it doesn't have to be some great divine light force. I got mad at my teacher when I was about 13, 14. I didn't know I had metaphysical abilities. I went flying dreaming down her throat. She died that night.
Oh, shit.
So we have to be very careful, because sometimes we dedicate powers to things that, even though they glow to us, they actually can be of the shadow. We make contracts for power all the time with these invisible creatures. And sometimes they're symbiotic, absolutely. But sometimes they're parasitic. So we have to be very careful with that power.
I'm going to share something with you. And I've shared this before. Clarissa cannot see what I'm about to share. but I am going to share this. And like I was trying to say, in the astral state, very, very, very few things ever come against me now that I'm afraid of. I guess I would say now I'm more afraid of myself, if that makes sense. Hang on. Well, let me see if I can't find this image.
Well, power is a weapon.
Oh, dude.
You should wield it carefully. That's why females are so dangerous. I saw my mom and my sister go completely berserk. Instead of learning to contain their telepathic and visual abilities to see things, they had psychokinesis. So it was like there was always a poltergeist in the house.
Holy shit. All right, I'm going to share my screen, or try to where everybody can see what I'm sharing here. Wrong one.
So while you're looking, I just want to tell you and everybody else, there's an interesting study that's going on, I think at Newberry University, but don't quote me on that. It's New something University. And what they did is they took patients and put them on a DMT IV drip, microdosing them over the period of an hour to maintain the DMT state for a complete hour. And so these people, after the hour, they had enough time to actually, have conversations with all these different entities. And they all came back with the same descriptions, the same drawings. The entities had all told them the same secret words. Okay, these people had been isolated on these DMT drips in their own little rooms the whole time. And they all came back with the same information. So right there, I mean, that is metaphysical proof. So now we just have to prove it beyond the quantum.
What the hell? Why isn't this working? I'm trying to share a screen, and it's not letting me share the screen. Maybe I'm
having that problem with black screens tonight.
Maybe I'm not supposed to share the screen. I don't know.
Don't look too much into it.
I'm serious, dude. Maybe I'm not supposed to share this.
Maybe you got to work harder.
Really? Okay. Okay. There you go. Work harder.
See how that works?
Yeah. Okay. Fuck it. I'll show you. I will absolutely show them. If
you're determined.
Everybody, here's the thing, and I've been told this: if you are an astral projector and you want to know how to get a hold of me, you just a lot like everything else. Okay. You think of the person, right? So I'm going to give you a description, and if you can see, then. Where in the hell is it at? Display capture. If you can picture this, then you will find me. There you go. That is as close as I can possibly even get to what I look like in the etheric realm. Right there.
I think I saw that one on Facebook.
I make it very clear. And I will tell you right now, don't even think about, don't come at me thinking that, seriously, don't come at me thinking that you can walk in front of me. Walk beside me, meaning battle me. I'm talking to somebody that I know is possibly watching the show, because I know right now, you may think I'm playing games, but I'm not. Not at all.
Dude, I try to not even play in those realms if I can avoid it. I stay anchored to my body as much as possible. Because if I go into those spaces, I shine like a Super Saiyan lighthouse. I take up a tremendous amount of space. I have a tremendous amount of energy. I just don't like the attention I get.
That's the problem with me, too. I agree.
I can tap into stream of consciousness just by sleeping. I can tap into stream of consciousness by dazing out when I'm awake and remote viewing into my own brain.
Look at this.
That's one thing that they don't teach you. If you learn to remote view your own subconscious, you'll see everything you didn't see all the time, because a part of you will always be active remote viewing the back of your own brain. So it's another trick for keeping your multidimensional brain awakened and keeping your defenses up.
Look at this. Carissa is a multitasker. Look at this shit. She's talking to you and I, and she's also in the chat just a thumbing it up.
Remember, I was doing that 2 weeks ago. I'd be
Yes.
doing it right now.
She's just like, hell yeah, I'm here. That's funny. But for real, if
Well, when you actually unlock the potentiality of your mind, you can actually do multiple streams of thinking. You know, like so I used to practice this at school, like focusing on what the teacher was saying, doing my own personal notes, and also like chatting with other people. Like, you know, while the class, I didn't like to miss out on learning, so I had to learn how to. It's like a memory palace, but like an active one. You know.
I do.
Are you familiar with the multidimensional brain
So
region, how it activates, and the form it takes?
You talking?
I mean, what you just said could be taken multitudes of ways. In what context?
No, I mean in the pure scientific sense. So, let me ask you a question, trivia time. How many regions does the human brain have?
I mean, we're obviously talking materially, right? Like, I don't feel
Physically.
Constrained by the 3D. I think
Speaking.
Yeah.
Physically speaking, how many regions are there to the human brain?
3
Okay, name them.
is my guess. Is my thought about it. Well, left, right, or northern, southern, and then 5D, which is transient.
Okay, so there are 3 regions to the human brain. There is the left, which is the the creative side. Or no, there's the left, which is the analytical side. I'm sorry.
There you go.
And that controls the right side of your body. There's the right, which is the creative side, and that controls the left side of your body. Now, there's also a hidden region in the middle called the multidimensional brain region. You can look this up for yourself. And the activation of which it activates in the presence of a multidimensional threat or when you're about to go into the dream state. And that is the tingling sensation. Because what's happening is the 2 regions of your brain are pushing outwards to the sides, okay? And the multidimensional brain region is activating and pushing up towards the top. So that tingling you feel is actually the multidimensional brain fibers tickling the inside of your skull, and then using your hair follicles as extension receptors. That's why your hair is made out of carbon, because carbon is radioactive, and that's what your radioactive frequency is based on. We are carbonic harmonic frequency modulators. In biomechanical sense.
Absolutely.
Now,
And there's iron in here too, which is also semiconductive.
Bingo.
Well, yeah, iron, copper. If you're an Rh negative, that's what makes the red hair. And then some of us have gold, the golden bloods. I have golden in my eyes and my blood cells. I'm actually an AB negative, one of the super rare ones. But let me get back to my point. So, okay, yeah, the multidimensional brain awakening, when that happens, the 2 regions of your brain are pushed to the outside. So you actually have a dolphin brain, which means humans at that point are capable of sonar. So all the invisible stuff that you're suddenly seeing, you're seeing because you're seeing in sonar. You're seeing in harmonic sound. So you're just basically seeing what you can see all the time subconsciously. Now, the awakening to that is just a simple workout. You don't want to hyperextend the multidimensional brain, you'll atrophy it. Then you won't be able to see any threats. You'll just feel awkward and weird and constantly be under threat. Your abilities will be diminished. I've seen it happen so many times. But at the end of the day, the stronger you are, yes, the more you can resist, but also as you move into those other dimensions, you're going to deal with benefactors and predators on those higher frequency levels, because there are 128 dimensional fibers in the human brain, and they use the multidimensional brain region to design fiber optic wiring, which we're all using for Wi-Fi right now. So that's an indicator that humans already had natural human Wi-Fi, which we know from 100 Monkeys experiments. All genetically matching creatures share a hive mind consciousness, which I call stream of consciousness.
Of course, yeah. So, I mean, I actually unintentionally created unison in my mind by studying Da Vinci. When I was younger, I really liked art, and when I found that you can actually mix science with art, then I was like beyond happy. Like, I was like, hey, I'm not constrained to this idea that an artist has to be an idiot. And so when I found Da Vinci, I expanded. Maybe I was about 8, 9, 10 years old, around those ages, and I found that he wrote backwards and in a mirror. And this was astounding to me. It was like, he's got some secret hidden things, and I didn't trust the books to actually say what those were because no one had even mentioned it in the mainstream before. So I got as many books out as I could, put them up to a mirror, and translated them myself and found a lot of secret hidden stuff. And he mentioned about how he used his left and right brain functionality, and it expanded his consciousness. And so I actually used to sit in my room as a child and write with both my left and right hand at the same time, and it unlocked me. So if anyone wants to know how to quickly unlock your brain, that is how I did it. And again, I didn't even mean to, but it completely broke me out of the matrix from an incredibly young age, which I believe was part of the design. And my existence here is to put myself in danger intentionally. I look vulnerable and hopeless, so that I attract psychopaths, these demonic Satanists. They think they're going to get away with it, and then bam, I'm essentially like a karma bullet.
You're a Harlequin. You're a Harley Quinn, aren't you? I'm guessing you're like a Harley Quinn.
I have no idea. I have not seen that.
I
have not seen that movie.
We're building up a Suicide Squad here for all of the ABCs listening. Watch out. Suicide Squad right here. Suicide Squad. This. I want to put you in contact with the majority of my girls. The girls that I know as well. If you want to talk to the men,
can't wait.
Then I'll put you. I will go back through this chat and I will find you, and I'll friend you, and I will definitely. But they are. I'm telling you, they are going to be standoffish because they don't know who you are. They'll probably watch the broadcast and they'll vet you out. You know the process. You just don't accept somebody.
Yeah, they'll genuinely be able to feel me right off the bat.
All right.
In my opinion. Like, if they're like me, they'll be able to tell that I'm a real.
You've never seen Suicide Squad? Girlfriend, you are behind times.
Nah.
You got to watch that.
Or I'm aware that they actually create these movies to target monarch victims like myself to program suicidality, which I refuse to purposely subject myself to unless the divine tells me to, which I only just was allowed to watch, like the Joker Batman movie, whatever, the Dark Knight, and the divine told me to watch it so that I could understand what they were doing to me. But if I'd watched that, say, 2 years earlier, I would have been programmed. Like in I Am Legend, people don't realize this is an in-culture movie. If you notice at the end scene where the zombies are on the other side and he's on the inside and he's sacrificing himself for the greater good, there's actually a crack that happens on the glass, and it's a monarch butterfly. And that actually programmed me when I was at a Mason's house to commit suicide. And he drove me around for over 12 hours to find the best power pole for me to touch. Now, seriously, these things are very dangerous if you are a monarch victim. And it was only by the hand of the divine that I didn't die that night. Baby, and I've actually got that recorded too.
You know what? Got a question for you. Miss Morgan Roundtree asks if this is your first time ever tuning in and or watching, participating on the Matrix here. Is this your first time here?
It must be. I actually had to get rid of a demonic force today to even have this conversation with you guys.
How did you get the link? Because Facebook suppresses this broadcast so bad, I don't even remotely know how you got in here. I'm being honest with you.
But that's what we think, right? But that's a 3D thing. Like, say this phone, I'm on a phone, this phone in my hand, this truck that I'm sitting in, this is all 3D material things. But say I actually magicked my truck from nothing, and I actually Magic's the phone as well that I'm talking to you guys on. And Facebook is absolutely mediocre, honestly. In terms of programming and things, it's very minute. It's very basic. It's nothing like ionic energy or nuclear or Tesla coils or resonant frequencies or anything like this. It is very mediocre construction. And so my ionic energy can enter into what we class as the matrix, just like with Neo, right? And it can actually get rid of all those obstructions. And so it literally just popped up right at the top of my feed, and I had this spiritual inclination I should click on it, and I did, and then you guys were having a high vibe conversation, and then I'm like, well, I'm supposed to be part of this.
I love you. I do. You are
guys do this too, so don't be surprised that I do.
Well, you are absolutely.
Like, you guys do this as well.
Sure, we do, but we've been here. We have been here. We were just waiting on you. Miss Morgan Roundtree says, she says, nice. We got a divine meeting up in this matrix of things. Love this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm so thrilled. Seriously, that demonic force that I got rid of today, just to talk to you guys, had actually been in my vibrational field since I was a baby. Like, I mean, this was a very, very strong force. So the fact that I get rewarded with this kind of conversation, I'll tell you guys, anybody out there, if their family, this was family, so-called family, monarch family, of course, the family, it doesn't matter who they are, it doesn't matter how much respect you think. Like, I'll be straight up. This was my grandfather, who is a Christian. So it was like, oh shit, I had this real, I'm like, oh shit, you're a demon. Like, you've been purposely put in my life to do this to me. And I realized, and I put all the karmic shit that they put on me my whole life back on them. And I instantly connected with you guys. I mean, literally, like, instantly.
That is awesome.
Quick. If you get rid of stuff out of your vibrational field, you can get an instant reward.
Damn it.
And I should add, I had already blocked them, and I hadn't talked to them for many, many years. But the issue was that I hadn't put the karma on them, okay? So blocking people is not enough. You cannot just cut people out. That's you going, I'm resisting you, and they still hold power, you see. So I actually had to put the karma on him. Like, you are a bad human being. You are a bad man. That's what I had to do.
Morgan Roundtree says she feels like you, Carissa, you stepped into our little world here, and you're able to feed on that power, and that is amazing. That is absolutely amazing.
It was that or die, right?
Right.
And it's like that for all of us. It's either figure it out or die. Figure it out or become powerless. Figure it out or you don't matter. We're all going to die. So it's like, if we're all going to die, let's not even care about that constraint, and let's do what our soul is charging us to do.
Wow. What do you think, NASAnon? This girl is like on fire, bro. I love it, dude. He's gotten quiet. He's letting you talk. Or they disconnect.
Oh, yeah, I was just listening. I tend to vet people when I'm hearing them. But yeah, it sounds very familiar to a lot of the things I've seen and dealt with. You can't really change Nazi pedophiles. They're always going to be what they are. And you really just got to look out for yourself. And like you said, how to grab your own power. That's really the key. Yeah, I just want to tell everybody, pay attention. Check out that study on the DMT. That would really help out everybody a lot for you guys to see exactly what's going on there. Otherwise, you really might miss the boat, because we are surrounded. It is kind of crazy how these creatures are all around us all the time. But if we're very careful, we can actually, see the world for what it is around us and no longer suffer as much. Maybe take it to these motherfuckers before we're all done. All right, that's all I got for the night. I'm tired.
I'm tired, buddy.
Can I add something? I just need to say something to both you guys, because you guys haven't had this acknowledgement. I can literally feel it, and it's despicable that you guys haven't had it. The fact that you guys somehow broke out of the Peter Pan programming that they have done to men worldwide is remarkable beyond belief, honestly. Like, I have spent so many years trying to find men that take action, that are not stuck in Peter Pan programming. The fact that you guys, because they do so much witchcraft on this to make sure all men are weak, to make sure all men are subservient, to make sure all men are scared, to make sure all men don't have activated masculinity. I just want to say, I see you guys, and I acknowledge how much hard work that must have been.
Appreciate it.
My jaws dropped, bro. I'm like, I don't even know what to say to that. Love you, buddy. Take care of yourself. You got my number if something happens. You hear me?
Thanks, buddy.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
Keep you updated.
Yes, sir. Good night, bud. All right, Miss Carissa, what are we gonna do with you? Dude's going to bed. He's got to get up in the morning. I can tell you this. Let me share this one with you. You stepped into what I call the tribe. Okay? That's what we call everybody here. We don't even call them family. We call them family. We call them the tribe. This is the tribe of the Matrix. So if someone's hurt, we all think of them. We all pray for them. We all take care of them. We all ask Source to heal them. I myself personally dropped out of the religious connotation and the belief system. I go straight to breath. I go straight to Source. If Lisa up here is sick, or if Tammy is sick, or if you're sick, I will skip that third party. I will go straight to my divine essence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at her. She was multitasking.
Yeah. So I do things kind of like that, but I'm very, so I make audios. It's kind of complicated, and it seems sort of like funny, but I make audios of magic, I guess. I don't know what you'd call it, but I use science-based magic, whatever. I just call it magic because I like Harry Potter. And I do those things for healing and for attracting, and getting rid of blocks in the subconscious mind and things like this. But I've never met people who not only understand what's going on, but actuate things. So most people I know, they know what's going on, but they don't do anything. You know, they think I'm crazy for continually doing something. And as far as I'm concerned, it's like, if not me, then who, right? And I feel like everybody should have that mentality, because it's from people just turning away that things are bad. But when it comes to, like, looking out for each other energetically, yeah, that's something I absolutely do and I want to be part of.
Well, I got it. Ooh, I got a hell of a ring that was like a piercing in my brain in the middle of my right ear. Just is like shot through me the moment you said this. Okay, so here's what we're going to do, okay? I'm going to friend you. All right, I'm going to friend you. There are plenty of ladies in this, ladies as well as gentlemen, that are in this chat that you see scrolling or you was in, that you're participating in. Okay? I don't teach. I've got so much, my own personal self, I've got so much shit going on. Okay? Lisa Thomas just mentioned the word Harry Potter. I don't have time. Look at that. He's still NASAnon still listening. I don't have time to teach Harry Potter. If you want to teach these ladies and gentlemen the shit that we do you hear me? If you want to teach them how to do it, they would, number one, they would be grateful. And number two, I think they would be grateful. And you could help empower them even more. If you want to do that, we will start our own little magical group. Trust me, we've got a health group. We've got a subscribers group. We've got all kinds of shit going on up in here. Trust me. And I'll share that with you. if you want to participate. I can't make you, but if you're willing to do it, I will show you what we've got available and you can participate. Okay?
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm a teacher, and I teach people how to unplug, and then I do not teach people power until I've vetted them. And it's not actually me. It's like I get the AOK from higher.
Sure.
Because I have in the past unintentionally taught the enemy.
I get it. I totally
That's
get
a
it.
big mistake to make.
We totally get it. All right, sweetheart. We're going to jump off here at an hour and 45 minutes. We come in here late, so we're broadcasting late. That's crazy. That the broadcast is late, but yet you come streaming in here. Very interesting. Very interesting night.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're more than welcome, man. You really are. While NASAnon is still here, he's back there just listening. Look, the both of you say something positive. Clarissa, no one comes to this show without saying something positive to everybody worldwide, because this is a worldwide broadcast. It's not just local here. You are reaching out there and touching some people. So empower them, say something positive to everybody before I go ahead and close you guys out. Can you do that? Please?
Yeah.
Yeah, say something positive. Do it up.
In autumn, can you trust the roots are still there in autumn?
Mr. Anon,
What's the question?
it ain't a question. You got to say something positive, and I'm going to close out this studio, bro. Say goodnight to everybody, and you say something positive. Go bye-bye. Go night-night.
Keep your energy up. Keep learning. Keep growing in your power. And don't doubt the doubters, because they've always been there. They're not going to change. So, and good luck. We're all going to need it.
Powerful statement, guys. Carissa, thank you again for showing up. We appreciate you. And Mr. Anon, like always, bro, take care of yourself, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, honey. Good night, guys.
Can I plug that I'm single? Anyway, see you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Holy shit. Can we plug that? Yeah, I guess you could plug that. You already did. Holy shit. She's single. She's single, guys. All right. Woo! Like always, brainiacs. I have enjoyed the night. I truly did. Again, I apologize that I crashed on you. I fell asleep flat on my face on Monday night. I definitely needed it. Oh man, I'm looking forward to. I've got to redo a commercial for Rebel Rhea in the chat. You guys seen her up in here? Rhea, she makes pendants, she makes bracelets, she makes all kinds of good shit that I make, which I'm now letting. This is all up to her. She's doing it now. So, nevertheless, I want to plug her real quick. I don't have the commercial for her yet. I will work on it. I've been busy. But again, Carissa, welcome to the Matrix Minds. Welcome to our tribe. For the ABCs that was tuning into the broadcast. Woo, boy. I'll bet your guys is you'll be doing a multi-dimensional joint force type tuning in. Seems like we're building a little tribe here. Well, by the way, shout out to you, ABC. Well, at least one of you that contacted me the other day. You're doing some amazing work, bro. Down in Tennessee, absolutely amazing shit down there. Okay, dude was on leave 3 weeks, non-paid vacation for calling out his department. It was cool, very cool. So you guys keep doing it, man. Keep breaking out of the system. It is what it is. The Matrix is collapsing. The upper echelon are like trying to figure out what to do. Run to your bunkers, grab your ass cheeks if you have to. But it's collapsing. The matrix is collapsing, and it starts with you. All of you. Smash that subscribe button, brainiacs. Those of you that are not subscribed yet, please help us keep this broadcast going. You can do that by smashing that subscribe button at the very top of the page. Every single thing you guys do, I appreciate it. We thank you. And with that, I will catch you here on Friday night, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 9 o'clock Central, and 7 o'clock West Coast. We know that you hate us time. Good night, everybody. Take it easy. Peace out. Crank that shit up. Good night, everybody. Wow.
Yeah.
That's right.
Let's do this.
We done did.
One of the fastest growing talk shows on the internet. Your show. Welcome aboard the Matrix Minds.
Watch that inbox, Clarissa. Keep an eye on
One
that
of the most
inbox.
controversial conspiratorial shows on the web. The Matrix Minds. And that's right. Buckle up, everybody. Let's go. Paranormal, huh? Conspiracy, huh? Ufology, hidden Egyptology, and anything and everything we can get our hands on. Let's go. Welcome aboard. The Matrix Minds. The Matrix Minds. Your show.
Take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. All I'm offering is the truth. Nothing. Stay in Wonderland. All I'm offering is the truth. Nothing. Stay in Wonderland. All I'm offering is the truth.
Matrix Minds audio backtracks by Richard Roller from Victoria, Australia. All your audio needs, audio creation, audio editing for the podcast, for movies, outright music creation, touch-based productions. Contact Richard Roller at richardroller007@gmail.com.
Hey everybody, Austin here with Colorado Custom Game Calls. Are you looking for a game call for your upcoming season? Are you looking for something unique? Are you looking for a gift for the hunter in your life? Well, look no further. We got you covered. At Colorado Custom Game Calls, you get to put your own twist on these calls. Whether it's waterfowl hunting, big game hunting, predator, or turkey, we got you covered. So be sure to hit us up on our Facebook and Instagram or on the web at coloradocustomgamecalls.com.
What is up, all my beautiful and gorgeous souls? I am Michelle Espinosa, otherwise known as the Shaman, through the Matrix Mind Media. So tell me, how many times have you wished that you had that special power of prediction? You know, to know what was going to happen before it actually happened and took place. To have some power and control over that situation before things came flying at you out of left field. The thing is, you actually can have that power. You can be aware of what's coming. Tune in to Astrology TV with me for Breaking the Cage. Every Sunday evening at 10 p.m. Eastern on the Matrix Mind Media. And I will go through the astrology and help put you on the right course and get you back in control of your own life. Love you guys.
This CBD fluid is a whole flower fluid extracted from the cannabis flower. We don't use any heat, butane, or chemicals when we extract, so we get all of the components of the plant. All the CBD, CBG, CBA, all the terpenes, all the flavonoids. This allows our body to absorb at 60 to 90% rather than the average of 6 to 10% absorption you would get with a CBD oil. Because our bodies are made up of mostly water and this is a fluid, it's highly absorbable so that you're getting 500% more nutraceuticals per dose. We also have this available in our CBD spray as well as a muscle rub with all kinds of botanicals. You're going to absolutely love it.
Check it out, Brainiacs. MatrixMinds.live/CBD. The CBD I use. Feel free again. Feel alive again.